Hello everybody, my name is Chris, and this time there is no massive gap between the Leaving the Rock videos. I mean, to be fair, I have a lot of movies to go through and I want to get them done. This was one of the first ones I actually saw for this project. I just never got around to making the video until now. Firstly, I will mention a couple of rules. I've mentioned these rules before. I will keep mentioning them because they are very important. They're things that should be very obvious, but I've done film reviews before. Oh boy, some people do not get the message. Number one, I am not a professional film reviewer. This is not my job, nor this is what I'm trying to be or trying to make this. This is just a first impressions review, meaning I've only seen the film the once and I've no doubt missed little details and Easter eggs. Although, with stuff like that, if you think of anything, please leave it down below because I'm always eager to learn. Oh, and there will be spoilers, but if you want to skip them and go straight to the conclusion, click the times code that is on the screen now. We good? Okay, let's go. So, Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy is a 2010 American sci-fi / action film by Walt Disney, directed by Joseph Kosinski and starring Jeff Bridges, Garrett Hedlund, Olivia Wilde, Bruce Boxley. No, I'm definitely getting that wrong and more. Tron Legacy is a sequel to the cult classic 1982 film Tron, also featuring Jeff Bridges and Bruce. He's just Bruce now, returning from it along with a cast of new actors. As always, we'll be splitting these into several categories to make this easy to look at. We'll start with the cast. Honestly, it was brilliant to see they brought back Jeff Bridges and Bruce. Just Bruce. But also very necessary. Nearly 30 years have passed since the original film when this one came out, and there needs to be some level of continuity, there needs to be some return to the original. The rest of the cast were very good, with Olivia Wilde especially doing a fantastic performance. I found Garrett Hedlund's performance decent, although I will admit his character, which is the main protagonist, I did find his character a little forgettable compared to some of the others. When it comes to the soundtrack, I have very mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, it's the kind of music that I certainly do enjoy, but it's not the sort of thing I'm going to have on repeat anytime soon. On the other hand, it was all done by Daft Punk, and that really gives it a cool factor. I may not be the biggest fan of what they do, but I have to admit they're pretty awesome. I mean, if you're a Daft Punk fan, you're going to love this soundtrack. The visuals, I mean, damn. I mean, they feel so goddamn different to how it felt in the original Tron, but of course that was going to be expected. Tron made a beautiful world for the time, but it was 1982 and there was a serious limit on what they can do. With this, there were a lot less limitations, and my god, it showed. There was a fantastic improvement to this world, and wow, it was just beautiful. Now, let's talk about a couple of standout moments I particularly loved, and the first one has to be the disc battle that starts, well, it's not really at the start of the film, but at the start of the adventures in the computer world. This was just so great for everybody because it was how the original film started when they got into the computer, and it really helps to highlight the differences between the old film and the new film, as well as similarities. It gives you some expectations of what to expect, really, because you can see where things are the same and similar, and you can see where they've changed. The other part for me had to be the battle at the club. The film had a lot of awesome scenes and battles, but for me, this was the one that really stood out in that regard. It really felt serious, especially as Squirrel got injured, and also when Flynn just jumped into the battle. I mean, we just all were thrilled to just finally see the OG appear and prove exactly why he's that. And this is normally the point where I would pick out two parts of the film that I wasn't the biggest fan of, and once again I'm only picking the one part, but it's a big one. It's very much like my complaint with the original Tron, in that I'm criticising the ending. Sam gets this good news, which is sudden, but sure. He steps outside and Guira's just there with his bike. Okay, so it's great and all that she's gotten into the physical world, but how? She's a computer program, she's an AI, but she's a computer program, and she's just there with a physical body that didn't exist before. And how did she just appear there? Where did she come from? I mean, I guess it's technically possible. If a human can be made into data, then the reverse should be possible, but how is she just in the real world with a human body and zero explanation. Like, the first Tron, it just ends so suddenly and nonsensically, and you're just left scratching your head at what should have been a really nice moment. You're just confused. Well now, welcome back, spoiler skippers. I guess you all know what I think of the film. Well, I would say I'd have to probably give it around a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy the film, quite a bit actually, but it wasn't exactly the best film in existence. The first was revolutionary, so different. It became a cult classic for a reason. But this one just felt like another, sequel long time after the fact, There wasn't anything special about it. It was fun. It had a good cast, it had a good story, and great visuals, great music, but it can't escape that feeling of just being a sequel, just being was really a bit of a cash grab for Disney, if we're being honest. And it does feel that way. It feels like a film made to just be a sequel to something popular in the hope it makes the money. But, I enjoyed it. It's no means perfect, but I enjoyed it. So would I recommend it? Yes, I would. I enjoy watching the film through, seeing the twists and turns and getting to delve once more into that world that Tron created. The film has its flaws, and it has some moments that will just make you go, huh? And being a sequel, it doesn't have the charm of the original film at all. But it's a fun film, and I had a good time watching it, and I reckon you will too. And that was Tron Legacy. That was Leaving the Rock episode 4, and that is us getting a second one of these out in January 2022. Not bad, eh? Let me know what you think about Tron Legacy down below, along with anything I might have missed, and also what you think about anything and everything else. And also if you have suggestions for films for me to watch and do these on. I have a fair few of these planned out already, but if you've got anything suggested, I'm always open to it. As always, any and all constructive criticism is welcome. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Chris, and I'll hopefully see you for the next video.